We're getting you some breaking news from the southern state of Karnataka. And well, the tussle over Karnataka CM chair has only intensified. A bunch of MLA and others who support DKS Shivakumar are now heading towards India's national capital, New Delhi, in a bid to meet the High Command. And this of course comes after the Congress party completed 2.5 years at the power there in the state. And of course, a lot of questions are being raised on this Delhi trip by DKS Shivakumar and his entourage, who are now heading towards India's national capital, New Delhi. For more on this, my colleagues Veera and Deepak are now joining me live. First, to you, Veera, do you see this as a last act? Is this some kind of an ultimatum given by DKS Shivakumar and his camp?
Well, there is no last act in this till there is a last act, Rahesha. Number one, this is going to play out for a while. Every little detail will get noticed, will get played up in multiple ways. Obviously, the saber rattling and the internal power tussle is playing out. Siddaramaiah, of course, pushing for a cabinet reshuffle. DKS pushing back and saying no cabinet reshuffle, because if there is a cabinet reshuffle, that would cement Siddaramaiah's place as chief minister. DKS, of course, pushing for the fact that there needs to be a leadership change at some point of time. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Obviously, this should be seen in the context of the DKS Shivakumar lobby and the camp, because it's been said all along that Siddaramaiah is the one with the support of the MLAs, and that's the line that his camp has maintained, that he's got the support of the MLAs and the High Command. Perhaps DKS Shivakumar's supporters trying to send out a message that they are also eager to see him up there. But we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. There is no last act in this Karnataka drama that's been playing out since the Congress came to power.
Right, Veera. Coming to you, Deepak, like what even Veera said, that there can perhaps be no last act here. Earlier, Shivakumar clearly said that he would continue playing a central role in Karnataka's Congress leadership. But we have seen the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah clearly refuting all those claims and saying that perhaps I will be completing full 5-year term.
Well, now there are different ways that you do political posturing. As far as Mr. DK Shivakumar is concerned, he has maintained that he's going to leave any question of leadership change to the High Command, and it's going to be them that's going to take a decision, and he's not going to talk about it. In fact, I spoke to Mr. DK Shivakumar just the day before, and this is what he had maintained. Now what I'm picking up is that a group of Vakaliga MLAs, a group of MLAs who also are close aides of DK Shivakumar. I could name a few at this point in time, but more importantly, the question here is how many are really going to go to Delhi, and if this pressure building tactic is going to work with the High Command, especially after what has happened in Bihar. Is the High Command really in a position to even make a decision at this point in time, and is it the right time to actually push the High Command? Now, with this visit, of course, could be them not
Deepak,
just backing DK Shivakumar.
Deepak, I'm sorry, I'll have to interrupt. I believe we have Prashant GS of the BJP as well. There's very little that the BJP can do except look at what's happening in the Congress. Prashant GS, you all were talking about a November revolution, but it seems like things are okay as far as the Congress is concerned. Of course, the saber rattling playing within the party.
Veera, nothing is fine for the citizens of Karnataka and people of Bangalore, because the potholes have not been filled, there is no governance, there is no administration. You can have a dacoity happening in daylight and the Home Minister is clueless, the law and order is non-existent, and if this is a November revolution, so be it. All the MLAs now who claim to be from DKS camp have to go and wait outside Rahul Gandhi's residence to decide whether Sonia ji, Rahul ji and Priyanka ji, when they are having dinner, whether will they decide that Shivakumar should be CM or Siddaramaiah should be CM. So none of these MLAs or Siddaramaiah or for that matter Shivakumar have any role in deciding who the CM of Karnataka is. It will be decided by 3 people while having dinner as to who the CM will be. Even the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge at most can stand outside and peep through to see what is happening, but even he will not be allowed inside. Therefore, the situation in Congress is pretty bad, and like every Bangalorean and every citizen of Karnataka, we are disheartened that governance has taken a back seat It is complete administrative anarchy, whereas they are fighting for the
That's
power.
what you're saying, GS Prashant. Some would argue that the BJP is a divided house in Karnataka. But Deepak Bopanna, you were making a point. Do you have a clear number of MLAs who are going to go to New Delhi, who are close with, who are part of the DK Shivakumar camp? Deepak Bopanna?
Well, what I'm picking up is that a few of them are already on a flight and they're on their way, and a few more could join later this evening, and some more are expected to go tomorrow. How many people are really going to go? Is this going to be a show of strength of sorts, or are they going to look at their own prospects? Because there are two things to note here. One, if DK Shivakumar, of course, becomes the Chief Minister, now his people or his close aides are also going to have their own ambitions of becoming cabinet ministers themselves. So is this a pressure building tactic, or does it have anything else to do with, some of their own constituencies? Well, especially when you look at the timing, because today marks the end of 2.5 years of Siddaramaiah being in power. And everyone from the beginning has been talking about a power sharing formula that has existed from the start, though, of course, this is something that has not been spoken about openly by anybody, be it the High Command or be it the two leaders here. So while this day comes to a close, are the MLAs who are backing DK Shivakumar going to make the next few days more interesting in Delhi is the bigger question. The likes of H.C. Balakrishna, Ranganath, you have Chaluraya Swamy, who's a minister who comes from the Mandya belt. You also have Ravi Ganiga, another Mandya MLA. You have another MLC as well, Guli Gowda there. Apart from that, you also have Iqbal Hussain, who time and again has batted for DK Shivakumar. These are some of the names I'm picking up who are going to be part of that delegation heading to Delhi. They're trying to get a meeting with KC Venugopal. What really happens post that meeting is going to be, of course, a very interesting aspect to note. So it's going to be a series of meetings, and this is not something that will come to a close very soon. You can expect the drama, of course, to continue, because the High Command has made it very clear. Even the cabinet reshuffle is not going to happen till the end of the year, because you have a winter session of the Assembly that's coming up on the 8th of December. So before that, you're not going to possibly have any sort of change, because that's going to be too soon and too dramatic. And in the Assembly, opposition is going to be asking ministers questions. If you have new ministers, in fact, if you have a new Chief Minister, that's going to be a very, very challenging situation for the Congress government to deal with. So nothing's happening at least until the end of December. This looks more like political posturing at this point in time.
Right, Deepak. A total of 4 MLAs are accompanying Shivakumar here in Delhi. Veera, I just wanted to talk to you more about the power sharing talks here. Earlier, of course, Siddaramaiah clearly said that there is no Kranti, no November revolution. He refuted all those claims, and he said that we will sincerely work to fulfill the 5 guarantees. How do you see what is happening right now, the optics by DKS Shivakumar, perhaps impacting power sharing in the state of Karnataka?
Well, I can tell you that Deepak and I will have to say the same thing over and over again in different words. It's purely posturing at the moment. There is no last act till it's over. But obviously, the speculation on the masala will keep playing out. Look, the power play is pretty obvious. The questions are also pretty obvious. One, is there going to be a cabinet reshuffle? If there is going to be a cabinet reshuffle, when? Is there going to be a change of guard at the top of Chief Minister? If yes, when? And B, is there going to be a change? And C question is there going to be a change in top of the state Congress president, because DK Shivakumar occupies 2 posts? These are the 3 fundamental questions. Obviously, the power play is going on. And as we've been pointing out, it looks like the Congress High Command would like to maintain the status quo as long as they can maintain the status quo to keep the entire power balance at play in Karnataka. But we never know. These are all posturing efforts by both sides trying to turn around and say that they've got numbers and their supporters are eager for some kind of change. Whether it is Siddaramaiah saying that, look, we want to push for a cabinet reshuffle as soon as possible, which doesn't seem to have worked at the moment with the High Command, or DK Shivakumar saying, let's look at some kind of categorical clarity on when there is going to be a leadership change. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out, Rahesh.
But absolutely, Veera. Coming to you, Deepak, how do you see things panning out from here? Of course, like both of you mentioned, clear posturing. And earlier, a few days ago, Siddaramaiah's son had clearly advocated for Jarkiholi as the CM face and not his own father.
Well, that's an irrelevant question as far as Mr. Satish Jarkioli now, because he himself has said till 2028, he does not really look at himself, taking over as the chief minister, or he has no interest. So we can probably rule him out at this point in time. The main contenders, if a situation really opens up here, will be Mr. DK Shivakumar and, of course, Mr. Parmeshwar. Why I bring in Mr. Parmeshwar here is that he's a Dalit face. More importantly, if Mr. DK Shivakumar is going to say, me being the KPCC president, powered the party into a massive victory in 2023, brought about a victory with 136 MLAs. Well, Mr. Parmeshwar is going to say, well, I was the KPCC president back in 2013 and I did the same for the party as well. So, there are going to be, of course...
Deepak, hang on. I think you can never rule out who and when, right? It's a question of if it's got to be a change, you never know who's going to be the dark horse running in that game. You never know. There are multiple names that have come up, but yes, go on. You never know when this game's going to play out and whether it's going to be a transition directly from Siddaramaiah to DK Shivakumar, if there is a transition at all. And what are the other possible permutations, combinations that the party can work out to keep the flock together? Because is it got to be a smooth transition? That's going to be the fundamental question. Go ahead, Deepak.
Well, absolutely. You could have dark horses and you could have, of course, people who are being propped up because they want to really keep the pressure on. And, some statements either by Yatindra in the past or others seem to be on those lines. But when you talk about real big contenders for the top post at this point in time, if you look at it politically, the Congress has nothing to gain by making a change in the chief minister at this point in time. It surely has to be done because there was an agreement or they find the need to do so. And it's not very easy to have somebody of the might of Siddaramaiah to really step aside, and it has to come really from the High Command, and it has come with real serious, directions that he has to step down. Until that happens, you're not going to have him, move out of the way and pave way for somebody like DK Shivakumar or Parmeshwar, or for that matter, anybody in the Congress party. Right now, when you look at the scheme of things, it looks like it is going to be either DK Shivakumar who will take over, or there will be no change at all for the next 5 years. So for the Congress party, it's a lot of decision making to do. But are they going to make these decisions now? Probably not. Considering what has just happened last week in Bihar, then you also have a situation, of course, where you have the assembly session that's going to start off in less than 2 weeks in Karnataka. So they do not want a situation where you have everything new, and it's too soon for the High Command to really sit and explain the situation and really ensure this is transition as well. So
you and Deepak Bopanna are extremely busy for a long period of time. That's the only takeaway that I have.
Right, Deepak and Veera. Please stay with us. We will want our viewers to take a listen to this very cryptic statement by DK Shivakumar, which he made last evening.
But no kacheri yaru nam kaaldalli maad hogbeku ನಿಮಿಷ ನಾವು ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ 5 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ 6 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಬಿ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಲೈನ್, ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ. ನಾನು ಅವತ್ತೇ ನಾನು ಉಪಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆ ದಿನನೇ ಬಿಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಖರ್ಗೆ ಸಾಹೇಬರು, ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಇರು DK ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿನ ಇರು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಇರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ಬಟ್ ಇರೋಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪಕ್ಷ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ನನ್ನ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
All right. Let's also now tell you about how DK Shivakumar's brother also made a statement. He rather spoke about the 2.5 years being completed by the Congress party in Karnataka and the promise that he thinks Siddaramaiah will complete and fulfill. Take a listen.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಜನರ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದದಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿಗೆ 2.5 ವರ್ಷ ತುಂಬಿದೆ. ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಮಾತಂತೆ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿಯನ್ನು ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರೇನು ಮಾತು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಆ ಮಾತಿನಂತೆ ನಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋ ವಿಚಾರ. ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಅವರು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಏನಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಪಕ್ಷದ ವರಿಷ್ಠರು ಮತ್ತು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಉಪಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
All right, Veera and Deepak are still here with us. Veera, first to you, what do you make of DK Suresh's comments where he says that Siddaramaiah will perhaps keep his word when it comes to the rotation of the CM chair in Karnataka?
Well, that's the hope from the DK Shivakumar camp. In fact, those close to him have categorically said in the past as well in private meetings that they really hope that there would be a transition of power at some point of time. But it seems very difficult at the moment. Remember, as what Deepak was pointing out a short while ago, Rahesha, it's not just about the High Command or the MLAs. It has to come from Siddaramaiah willing to relent on this. Still, Siddaramaiah is unwilling to relent on letting go. It would be very difficult for the High Command or for DK Shivakumar to enforce a change of guard in Karnataka. And Siddaramaiah has clearly declared that he's going to present the next budget, which would mean April, May. So status quo for the moment. The bigger question really at the moment is about a cabinet reshuffle, if and when that happens, and what kind of message that would send. And also, of course, there's been a push for change at the top of the state Congress unit.
Right, Veera. Coming to you, Deepak, your last thoughts on where things stand, where things are headed to. Like Veera also clearly outlined that things are with Siddaramaiah's hand and not DK Suresh at this point of time. How do you see this status quo, this stalemate perhaps panning out in the coming few days?
Well, the stalemate is just going to keep the pressure on, and there is going to be an undercurrent, and we are all feeling that undercurrent, and the ripple effect of these undercurrents are, these political maneuvers that we are looking at, MLAs going to Delhi, visits by the two leaders, statements that are being made in Bengaluru by the two leaders, by their supporters, sloganeering that happens by party, cadres. This is the ripple effect of an undercurrent that continues to, remain. But as far as a political transition is concerned, anywhere in the country, it's never been smooth, and you can expect, that even in Karnataka, if there is going to be a transition, there is going to be turbulence. Now, how is the High Command really going to deal with it? Do they want this turbulence? Are they going to ignore it? Can they ignore it? These are the questions that really remain before us today.